all season long that our problem is this team has no fucking heart. Like LeBron can take it over whenever he wants, but sometimes he doesn't care enough. And like everybody else will occasionally have like a good game, but most of the time they're like, whatever, it's all good.
Right. LeBron will do it. Just let him
right.
Yeah. He's getting all the attention anyways. Just give him the ball and fuck it. Just let it go. All right, let's start. And if Anderson shows up,
okay.
May 27th, 2018. You're listening to What's Happening in Cleveland with your host, Kevin Baird.
And Larry Mack.
So, on our Memorial Day Eve show, Larry is dying from, I think he was just screaming at the top of his lungs at someone, and now his voice is shot. Anderson's not here. He texted me, and I said, don't feel obligated to come. And he didn't write me back. He just decided that was all he needed to hear. So he's not on the show. He might show up. We don't know. And Brian probably doesn't work tomorrow morning, but he wasn't going to do the show. He's just not. Oh, there's Anderson.
There's Anderson.
He did indeed show up. Well, let me think. Let me think about how my week's been going. I drove to Seville today to go to Hardee's because I was really bored, and I'm like, I'm just going.
I do love me some Hardee's.
And I drove the 25 miles or whatever it is to Seville and back. It was really far away.
I used to live there.
About the only thing worth anything in that town. It's like a Hardee's.
Wouldn't like Wycliffe be closer for you?
I mean, I went on the thing, and this was the closest according to the thing.
Yeah, whenever I have to take my daughter down south, whenever I cut across 76, I always swing by Hardee's because I can eat the shit out of them hot ham and cheese sandwiches.
Mm. Yeah, and yard work. It's not exciting. Yeah, I went to my doctor. That was fine. My blood pressure's good, and it's not that exciting. And told me that I should only eat vegetables and fish, which is never going to ever happen. Like no carbs, no red meat. I can eat broiled chicken, I guess, however that is cooked. Broiling.
Well, they broil it, yeah.
It's like grilling it, I guess, but they call it broiling.
It's basically sticking it in the oven.
Right. It's, but, I gotta try to do something at some point. Yeah. Oh, I planted a tree. That's not exciting. I mean, honestly, yeah, there's nothing.
Okay.
Didn't really do anything. I do sit around. Like yesterday, I was sitting around, and I was like, I should go do something. But what is there to do? I could either meet somebody like Joe at the bar and drink, which I don't really want to do, or I could go to the casino by myself and not drink, and that would be dumb, and I'd spend a lot of money. Yeah. So there was really nothing to do. So I just played some video games and watched TV and went to bed. It's not that exciting.
That's what I did the last 2 days because it's been way too hot and sticky to do shit.
It has been really hot.
I was like, okay, finally some good weather. I can go do that yard shit. Holy balls, it's hot. I'm going back inside and playing Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I gotta do my pool tomorrow too. It's because it's that day. Open the pool day. My neighbor's probably gonna be having a big party right next door, and I'll be out there cleaning slop out of the pool cover and shit. Just being the gross neighbor when my dog tries to eat bugs.
Pool party at Kevin's.
Yeah, woo! Yeah, that's not really gonna be a thing. All right. Anyway, Anderson, how was your week?
Hey.
Or 2 weeks, I guess.
Hey, everybody. It was all right. Summertime's here. School's out, so now I have Sophie. I don't have her right now. She's at her friend's house. Yeah, it's going pretty well. So I got some surprising news for everybody. I went to Adams last night, and it seems that Adam has went ahead and gotten himself into 2009 because he now has a cell phone. It's probably later than that, like 2012, somewhere around there. But whatever. He's finally caught up. He went and got a family member of his gave him a cell phone.
I didn't even realize that he didn't have a cell phone all this time. I guess it makes total sense, but I always just figured he had one.
Listen, according to Adam, if you want to get a hold of him, you can call him at his house. That's the number that he has, right?
Does he have an answering machine at least, or voicemail?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's an answering machine. It's hello, please leave a number and then you're like talking. You're like, Adam, listen, it's Tumble. Click. Machine is full. Like, right. Never mind. But he got a cell phone, so we're sitting on the porch, and it's a smartphone. So he's like going through it and trying to figure stuff out. He goes, "Let me put your phone number in here," and he just dials it. He like puts the number in, like each number, like he does it from his head. And I'm looking at him. I go, "You memorized my phone number?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." And then that's when it hit me. He hasn't had a cell phone. He just has a regular telephone that doesn't store phone numbers in it. You don't have to hit Anderson. You don't have to hit the button that says Larry Mack to get a hold of somebody, which everybody does now because I don't know anybody's phone numbers.
Right.
And like somebody was like, "Give me your cell phone." I was like, "Here you go." They'd be like, "Now call Kevin Baird." I'd be like, "I have no clue. I honestly do not know what your phone number is."
Right.
No. Back in the day when we were in high school, I knew your phone number.
Right. Everybody did. Yeah.
Right. Well, not just yours. So he's doing that, dude. So we get through this thing. He goes, "You know what? I want a game. I want a little game that I can play on my phone." And I said, "Yeah, sure. You just got to go to the Play Store there." And he goes, "Okay." And he clicks on it. It says, "You must have a Gmail account or a Google account." And he looks at me. He goes, "What does that mean?" And I go, "You got to set up a Gmail account, which is pretty much like Hotmail." And I forgot to mention before this, he goes, "I signed up so I can get my email through Hotmail on the cell phone." And I said, "Yeah, that's what they do now. You can do things like that on the cell phones. You can get your emails and check the internet and stuff." And he goes, "Yeah, but I can't sign out." And I go, "Well, what do you need to sign out for? It's your account. It's your phone. It's your account." He goes, "Yeah, I just don't want it to be connected when I'm not using it." I said, "It doesn't really matter if you're logged in or logged out on your cell phone because it just kind of automatically logs you in." And so he started getting sketchy about that, thinking that like emails were going to be floating in space from his phone to somewhere else, and that somebody else is going to grab them and be like, "Oh, look at this email that somebody sent to Adam." So he was all sketched out about that. But then I told him he had to do a Gmail account. He got a little sketched out about that. He's like, "Well, I already got one. I already got a Hotmail account." And it's like, "What do I need another?" I go, "Dude, if you want to play a game on your phone, just get a Gmail account. It's free and it doesn't mean anything." I've got a Gmail account. I don't ever use it, but I have one, And so this dude goes to set up his account. He put in a password so long. I mean, most people 8 to 12 characters, right? You use some numbers, you use signatures or symbols or whatever, This dude, I swear to God, it had to be like the alphabet. It was like the long. I looked over his shoulder. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm putting my password in." He's like, "I got this password made up." He goes, "Nobody can break it." And I go, "Of course nobody can break it. You're writing a book. I mean, how does that even look at how is it?" And then he goes, "Oh, hold on." And he starts erasing it all. I go, "What happened?" He goes, "I forgot where I was." Because you know how like when you go to put a password in, every time you hit the key, it comes up as a block, as a little dot, so nobody can see it. So every time he was hitting the button, he would look up at the screen and see it was gone and be like, "Uh-oh," and like reverse it and like, "Wait a minute, let me start all over again." And then he's like trying to count the dots. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't see these dots. I'm like, "Dude, you're crazy." So he finally gets this password in there, right? And then wouldn't you know it, as soon as he hits enter, it says, "Retype your password." Now we're sitting there another 5 minutes while he's trying to do that again. I'm like, "Come on, dude. Why can't you just put like Adam rules or, something stupid?" He's like, "I would never remember that." So I'm like, yeah, but just make it something you know, like Adam smells or something that you know is the truth. Your car sucks, stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that was interesting. That made last night very interesting. Watching him do that, and then Clint showed up and he started talking about soccer. So I told Clint to shut up. I was like, can you just not? And then let's deal with Adam doing his cell phone. This is much more entertaining than listening to you talk about soccer.
Did Clint pass his test?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Good for him.
Yeah, good boy. So, but that's it. Nothing major. It's Ramadan. So work it's busy, and then it gets busy again at 9 o'clock or 8:45, 8:30. All the people who participate in Ramadan show up about 8:30, and then they sit at your table and they say, we don't want anything till 9 o'clock. We're just going to sit here. And it's like, that's great that you're keeping me here longer than I need to be. And then you're going to order food and keep me here longer than I need to be. But yeah,
it's weird that you know about I bet like 20 years ago, there was like no recognition that there was a Ramadan thing going on. Like
no idea.
Right.
But it's big at Cheesecake Factory because everybody comes in as in big groups, and they can order like 3 meals and just split. Everybody just sits there and splits stuff off left and right. You know, there's like, I'll take some of this, some of that, some of that. And they love the Cheesecake Factory.
There you go.
So that's it. That's all I got.
Larry, if you can talk, how was your week?
Cavs.
Happy Ramadan, everybody.
I believe they say Merry
Ramadan, buddy. So my last 2 weeks. So I apparently have started a new business without realizing it. So like last week, Barbie was out of town, so I was like watching her house and bringing in the mail and like
going through her things.
Well, yeah, obviously closing the windows when it rains, stuff like that. Then this week, and Mindy's out of town, so we're going over to her house to feed the cats, let the dog out, give the dog her meds. So apparently I am now everybody's go-to house sitter.
Nice.
Or pet sitter. What else? Went down to the Agora for Texas Hippie Coalition last week.
How was that?
So the show was great. Like, I'm not even sure how I got hooked on them, but I'm really into them. But one of the opening acts that I never heard of was also pretty awesome and badass. So the show was great. The fucking $9.50 for a beer was less great.
Of course. But
like we talked about last time Donnie went there, how you have to walk through like the shitty alley after you park.
Right.
Well, they're doing some construction on that shitty gravel part now. So you couldn't do that. You had to walk around to the end of the block, down the side street, and come back. So, like, you park right outside the building and have to walk, like, 3 blocks to get in.
Right.
So, that sucks when you're me. Let's see what else. Finally had that interview for the new gig that got rescheduled. They haven't given me the job yet, but that was just this Monday, and like I'm confident because I didn't cry or vomit or wet myself or anything like that during the interview.
As usual.
Right, because like my last real interview was just terrible. Because they all are. I'm a terrible interviewer. Like it's bad. Oh, of course, Lizzie had her commencement, graduation. So I think I'm done now. Like both of them are now graduated from high school. I think I'm done being a parent. I get to just. You guys are set. So her mom came up for that. Brought my other daughter, largely against her will. So that was totally pleasant.
It's usually how they do it.
Did you do that party that you didn't want to go to?
No, that's next. That's in 2 weeks. We did have a big fight over that, though. She had her boyfriend, who she got back together with after I said I was really happy that they broke up. So he was there with his dad. Larry and Debbie came up from Florida. And just so that I wouldn't be completely alone, Mindy went with me. So that was how it blossomed. So nothing like parking 5 miles from the actual commencement to hike through the woods to get there. And needless to say, like my dad is now getting up there in years and was never what you would call the picture of health like I am. He doesn't have my stamina and fortitude. So he was loving the walk and on the way out. So for everybody who's not from Cleveland, Blossom is this big amphitheater set out in the middle of the woods, only open during the summer because it's outdoor, which makes it almost always miserable because it's hot and muggy, infested with mosquitoes. But because it's an amphitheater, when you're heading out, it's all uphill the entire way because it's set down in a little bowl valley. So my dad had to stop twice. Oh, and did I mention that as soon as the commencement was over, boom, rain. Commencement ceremony, fine. As soon as we're leaving the enclosed amphitheater, rain. Let's see. My daughter then went down to Florida with Larry and Debbie. She's down there for the week. And so because of all this, she drove down with them. She is flying back. So she was like, oh my God, I'm flying by myself. So she was all freaking out. But we went over it. We're like, okay, we checked. You don't need your birth certificate or any of that bullshit. All you need is an ID. So just take your temps. Boom. Kelsey, did you remember your temps? Yes. Show me your temps. They are in my suitcase already in the car. How are you sure you have them? You know what? I'm going to look. So see, here it's not in my purse. And before we left, I checked my nightstand, which is where I keep it, and it wasn't there because I put it in my suitcase in the front zipper, so I know exactly where it's at. I was like, okay, because it is a long-ass walk home from Florida. So they head out. On the way home, I take her to the hotel where they're staying. On my way home, I get a text from her. Now you have me second-guessing myself. Could you check my nightstand? So I check her nightstand, and it's all good. I was like, nope, you're right. You got it. That afternoon, I'm walking back to my office to get on a call, and I'm like, you know what? As I'm looking in my daughter's room, I was like, she borrowed Mindy's suitcase because it was bigger. So I go and I take her original suitcase that she had packed, and there's her ID.
Yeah.
Right in the front zipper, like she said. So, yeah, she had it down there without the ID so that she can't get on the plane back. So I was like, you know me, problem solver. I will just, FedEx it down. How much is it to FedEx a wallet to Florida?
$30.
Yeah, because it's 40 because I decided not to overnight. I was like, I need to overnight this down there. He's like, well, what do you need there? And I was like, I mean, just overnight it. It's like, okay, that'll be $60. I was like, fuck you, it will. How much is the 2-day? He's like, $39.60. I was like, she can wait till Saturday. I would get if I was sending a computer. It's a fucking wallet. $60. Yeah. So then her commencement was Tuesday. Wednesday was just hanging out, worked, watched the, my friend came over, we drank some scotch and watched the Cavs. And like that day, like I was kind of dragging all week, but I've been running all week. So I was like, of course I am. And then like late Wednesday night, I woke up and like couldn't breathe and shit. Hold on. And I was like, well, this probably isn't good. I'd probably get this looked at. So I got pneumonia. Which
Really?
is yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm on antibiotics and everything.
I can smell it.
It's that HIV.
Yeah, it is probably. So Thursday like morning, I text my boss and I was like, "Look, sorry, I'm just now leaving the hospital. Could you or Rob check and see if you have a meeting with me between now and 9 a.m. Because I'm not going to get home to cancel my meetings before that. And if it's the one I invited you to, just go tell everybody it's canceled. Because it was for this big OCC thing. So it was kind of a big deal, but I couldn't remember like which time of the day it was scheduled. So I was like, if you have a meeting with me, could you attend it to cancel it? And I'll get online and cancel the rest. So I get home. Hold on. Sometimes I have to catch my breath when I talk. Mm-hmm. So I get home and I'm canceling my meetings. And I swear I sign on, cancel meeting, send an email. And in the 2 minutes I was on, I get a Skype from one of the project managers. Hey, you got a minute to talk? And I'm like, do you have an alert set up if Larry signs on? Like, let you know? I was like, no, I can't talk. So, I think that's been it for me. I had something to bitch about. Yay. So a while back, I know I complained about it on the show. I had to take my daughter to the hospital, to the emergency room, because her side really hurt. I was like really hurt, like hospital emergency room hurt, or because I know you're kind of a pussy. She's like, oh my God, I'm crying. So I was like, okay. And ultimately, the doctor checked her out, basically told her, there's totally nothing wrong with you. You're just a puss. Take some ibuprofen. Like wrote a prescription for non-prescription ibuprofen, pretty much. Complete nothing wrong. No follow-up. A couple other times since then, she's been like, my side hurts. And I'm like, shut up. Because this week, I got the bill for that visit. So again, doctor checked her out. They did like an x-ray. That was it. Ibuprofen. There's nothing wrong with you. How much is that hospital bill?
I guessed the last one. I'm not guessing this one. I got it right. It's going to be like $1,000 or something.
$3,000.
Wow.
That should be a doctor.
Now, that was before insurance. But I haven't hit my deductible, so basically all you get is the bullshit where they lower it because otherwise the insurance companies will never pay it. So I only have to pay $1,300 for, my side hurts. I need ibuprofen. So yeah, something else to be excited about.
Kids, right?
You got to do it like the Wild Wild West and just,
laud them.
There's no ambulance in the Wild Wild West. You bite a bullet, you drink some whiskey.
Yeah.
You deal with it.
You go out and you sweep the floor of the house, which is made of dirt.
Yeah.
Apparently my life is not interesting at all. Larry involves all kinds of like life-threatening shit, long trips, huge events. It's just total different. Night and day.
Yeah.
I did rip up some weeds in my front yard. And,
What?
Did anybody understand what Joe was talking about with that crazy post he posted this about
No,
25-year-olds?
I think his autocorrect fucked up and like took two sentences and shoved them together or something because that wasn't a sentence.
I don't understand anything that guy says.
Brian even made a meme out of it, so I thought maybe I was missing something.
No,
I know, I saw that.
Yeah, that was just Brian, posting his Warhammer picture for everything. Like, that was just a meme Brian happened to enjoy. So that was his response. Because, no, the post... Like, usually I know whether or not, I need to be concerned.
But that's like he posted Joe posted something. He goes like, I got to see what's going on this weekend and see what my peeps are doing. And then I don't know who these people are, but then like the one chick was like, yeah, give me a call and we'll hang up. And he goes, yeah, if there's something worth hanging out for. she's just like, ouch, never mind. And it's like, wow.
I know that story though. That girl is
there's probably a story, and that's what I think.
No, she's married. And so she like wants to hang out with Joe, but she's married. So he's just like, psh, that I get.
Yeah. Well, from the outside, looks good.
I'll try.
I was listening to an old, I don't know why this made me think of it, but I was listening to an old Midwest Wasteland. And like, since I was like the newbie who like hooked up with you guys late, I don't know all of your friends.
Right.
Or at least I didn't, like back in the day, because this was like a pretty old one. And it's funny listening to it now because I would hear like you got like Kevin doing his whole, we're not going to use any names. And at the time, it's probably a cool story, but now that I've known you longer, I'm like, oh, he's totally talking about so and so.
It's probably true.
But like, oh my god, and it was the one on housing. Then I was like, I was living with this chick, and that was just a bad idea because she was like, we weren't dating, but she was just crazy. I was like, oh, okay, I got this.
I know where I'm at here.
Yeah, all the Midwest Wastelands are in rotation at this point on the old VGN radio feed. So probably more people are listening to that than to this show. Which...
You need to make me an admin for the Cleveland page because I keep trying to post stuff, and it winds up on VGN.
Okay. I will have to actually remember to do that when I'm on the page. It's not
because I'm hoping this isn't in your list of police blotter stories, but a buddy of mine did post on Facebook today, only in East Cleveland, someone had video of two dudes fighting on a porch. The one dude had a knife, and the other dude had a baseball bat.
Yeah. No, it's not in my news feed. I don't think. Speaking of, here we go with the news. Basically, we're going to read off the news from the police, the crime from Cleveland. If it's on the east side of Cleveland, you have to drink. If it is, I'm pulling a blank here. If it's reported by Jennifer Cha-Cha, she's kind of hot. You have to drink.
And if it's a shooting.
And if it's a shooting of any sort, you have to drink. And if a house gets shot, well, that's basically a double drink because there's a shooting and then the house is the thing that got shot. I know that sounds a little weird if it's your first time listening to the show. It's not.
We shoot up a lot of fucking houses.
There's a lot of houses getting shot. In fact, I think we have a record in this week's. We're going to talk about a house that's been shot many times.
All right.
Cleveland, Ohio.
They hate this house.
A man was found shot to death, Sunday morning, inside a car on Cleveland's east side, according to police. Also, if it has a shooting, east side, and Jennifer Cha-Cha, that's a hat trick, and you have to drink the bomb.
I thought it was Metro Health, like if somebody dies in the hospital.
I don't think we added that one because we realized we would all die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every one of these has somebody going to the hospital and dying in the hospital. The victim has not been identified. Police officers found the man about 7:45 a.m. with a gunshot wound to his head. Police spokesman Detective Reginald Lanton said. But wait, do you think it's just Detective Reginald Lanton getting this one? But he was slumped over in the driver's seat of a Pontiac Grand Am on East 141st Street, just south of the intersection of St. Clair Avenue and Coit Road in the South Collinwood neighborhood. Cleveland police spokeswoman Sergeant Jennifer Cha-Cha said. Ta-da! That's a hat trick. So that's drink the bottle.
And if anybody wants to, if anybody sees that, oh no, never mind. Go ahead.
What do you if anybody sees her?
No, that dancing horse video that went viral like this last week. That's why she was on TV.
Oh, okay.
Because they had the dancing horse on. It's like there was a viral video of the horse dancing in the street with a bunch of kids. And I was going to tell everybody, hey, if you see this viral video, but she's not in that video. She was on a news channel or whatever.
She's a good-looking lady. She's very fit. Homicide detectives are investigating. Police have not arrested anyone or provided a possible motive. Of course not. Willoughby Hills, Ohio. East side?
Yeah.
No idea where that is.
Willoughby.
An 82-year-old man died after falling over a cliff in his backyard Saturday afternoon, police say. This must be what you guys are talking about with those cliffs over by the lake, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, over in Lakewood, like I think it's Edgecliff.
Well, this is Willoughby Hills. I don't know what. Apparently, there's hills in Willoughby Hills.
Yeah.
The incident. Then again, he's 82 years old. It could be like a small rise. And he was like, oh, and he just fell over.
His backyard slopes a little.
Yeah, it's possible. The incident happened about 2 p.m. on Berkshire Hills Drive near Pleasant Valley Road, according to a statement from Willoughby Hills Police. Officers and firefighters found Gilbert Lyon lying in the creek at the bottom of the cliff, which is approximately 130 feet tall.
Dear Lord.
Say. That's definitely a cliff. Firefighters climbed down a rope to the bottom of the ravine and pronounced Lyon dead. East Tech rescue teams assisted and the Lake County coroner responded to the scene. It's a pretty cool backyard. I mean, it's not cool that he fell to his death in it, but a 130-foot cliff to a creek is kind of neat. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I have no idea. Maybe it looks like something out of fucking a post-apocalyptic film or something. This is one of those weird ones with a lot of things put together. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that one.
Okay.
It's like one line. It's like somebody called 911 and say that there was a loud noise.
Right.
So this one's all over the news. I mean, there was about 14 different. Seriously, there's about 14 different articles about this because it happened in Westlake, Cleveland, Ohio. The fatal shooting of a 33-year-old, that's a drink, Westlake man on Interstate 90 Thursday evening.
Oh, yeah.
Is the first shooting involving a Cuyahoga County Sheriff's deputy in 4 years, records show. I don't know if that speaks well of the deputy, that they're not shooting people, or it speaks poorly that they're, just not doing their job.
For every 4 years, one of them is worth a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what that means. I mean, I guess it's good that they're not having to shoot people, but it also could mean that they're just doing paperwork all the time. Brett Luengo, 33 of Westlake, was shot in the chest by Sergeant Kevin Campbell after attacking the deputy about 8 p.m. Thursday. Campbell is assigned to the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court and was working an overtime traffic enforcement detail. There you go. Before his encounter with Luengo. Officials have provided few details about what was the first fatal encounter between a civilian and deputy in 4 years, according to Cleveland.com archives and a Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office spokesman. The March 27, 2014 incident involved 6 sheriff's deputies who were serving a warrant for Israel Rondon, who was wanted for a probation violation. Obviously, the way this is written, now all of a sudden it just went back to the last time there was a shooting. I don't care about this guy. What happened 4 years ago? It's stupid. Everybody's trying to find out what happened with the current thing. Let's tell you about who they shot 4 years ago. And there's 4 or 5 paragraphs here about this. Who cares about that? And that's how it ends. This is dumb. I'll have to read another one.
So the last half of it is background, basically.
Yeah, it's like Rondon's probation stemmed from September 2012 criminal conviction. And then in the next paragraph, it's like Rondon had a brush with Middleburg Heights police in February. And then the next one's Rondon told Hoover people were shooting deer in the woods.
He was born in 1981.
Hoover returned to arrest Rondon. Rondon described himself as a free man. A judge sentenced Rondon to 2 years. I mean, this doesn't help anybody. This is nothing.
I'm a free man.
Nobody cares about that.
Tell it to the judge.
Let's see. This one's really short. Pepper Pike, Ohio. I think that's a drink. A cleaning contractor working for a resident arrived at the police station on the afternoon of May 23rd to turn in 2 BB guns, an airsoft gun, and a plastic musket. That's all it says. That's literally all it says. I don't know why we have to know that he's a cleaning contractor or why he's turning in BB guns, an airsoft gun, and a plastic musket to the police.
Well, no. Like, that makes sense then. I think that's the story. Like, me turning in my own guns is nothing. If the guy that I paid to cut my grass turns in some of my guns, I'm going to feel some kind of way about that. Like, was the cleaning contractor like, oh, I'm here cleaning the bedroom? This guy has guns. I need to take them in.
Plastic musket. Plastic musket cannot be.
Yeah, that's the only reason it would be plastic would be to get it past the metal detectors at the school. Oh my God!
Right.
All right, let's try this Brett Lowengo shooting again and see if this article is a little bit better. Brett Lowengo ran a successful construction management business that oversaw the construction of Crocker Park parking garages and told others that he loved being a newly married man. He planted flowers in Westlake Community Garden just last week.
Really? This is what they're giving us?
I know.
He built that crappy parking garage?
I guess. Dispatch logs obtained by Cleveland.com from a call he made to Westlake police in the minutes before his death illustrate a far more troubled man who claimed that he was a drug dealer and that he was being chased by 3 witches who were trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Maybe they were.
Maybe
that was really going on. It's possible. I mean, I've never seen any real witches, but who am I to judge? It could have been happening. Flying around on brooms, coming after him.
Give us the eye.
Yeah, shooting lightning out of their fingertips. Crazy warts on their nose and stuff. Cackling. Anything's possible.
Like imagine that as like the conclusion to like every like supernatural or fucked up horror movie where like they are running from like the Blair Witch who's gonna kill them and some cop says, oh my God, this chick's fucking nuts, and like mows down 3 campers.
Yeah. It's terrible, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't think that's the reason to shoot the guy. Those who knew the 33-year-old Westlake High School graduate were left stunned and searching for answers on Thursday after Lowengo attacked several Good Samaritans along Interstate 90.
Oh, this is the guy that crashed his car into the wall, right?
I'm still trying to figure this all out. Before a Cuyahoga County Sheriff's deputy fired a fatal gunshot into his chest.
Yeah, okay.
Lowengo, I mean, because who were these Good Samaritans? Like, he crashed and the Samaritans came out and then he jumped out of the car and attacked them? Is that what you're getting at?
No.
Holiday
is that what he's doing?
That's what Holiday was telling me. He was telling me the story.
Maybe he was snorting bath salts or something.
The guy crashed his car he was driving down 90, crashed his car into the wall. So everybody, like cars, not everybody, but a couple cars stopped. People got out. They like ran to the car to see if he was all right. And he was screaming at him, like, go away, like, leave me alone, all this stuff. And then like he got out and like started threatening him. And then that's when the cops showed up, and he was like, well, screw this, and busted a gun out. It was like, I'll just shoot cops then. And just decided to try to shoot the cops.
Just, you know what, though? That's coming from Clint. Let's read the whole article. God knows what Clint says. You can't trust everything.
I'm just telling you what he said.
Lowengo called Westlake police prior to the attacks and made strange claims to dispatchers. He also told the dispatchers that he was gay and that he was going to commit suicide. His parents later told police that Lowengo has been suicidal in the past and was possibly homicidal, the report says. Yeah. Nice to know that now, lady. Westlake police later updated the report to say that Lowengo is suicidal and possibly homicidal. It just doesn't make sense, said Westlake Mayor Dennis Clough, who performed Lowengo's marriage ceremony on March 4th, 2017. I was shocked. I don't quite understand what happened here. I saw him about 3 weeks ago, and he was so happy about getting married. He said things were great, and he was very happy with his new bride. Wait, so did he marry a woman? Because he said he was gay. I mean, his bride could be a man.
I guess.
I don't.
I know the mayor of Westlake. He doesn't sound like that.
I know. Nobody sounds like anything. Nobody sounds like anything I sound like. Luengo grew up in Westlake, moving there with his family when he was about 6 years old. His family hosted dinners for neighbors on their quiet street lined with manicured lawns.
Aww.
This is the only kind of thing. This is how people talk about Westlake. You know what I mean? Manicured lawns. That's just.
Have you ever been to Westlake?
I know, but only in Westlake. No one's talking about that in North Olmsted.
The majestic fields of Rocky River.
Luengo's parents' next door neighbor, Pers Nielsen, said they never saw any issues with Luengo and offered that he never saw him intoxicated or under the influence in any way. He was always a very nice young man. Berth Nielsen said. He was always very polite, very helpful.
Say Berth?
It's Birthe.
Ugh.
Or it's Bertie. I went with Berth.
Yeah, that's fine.
His family in an emailed statement described Luengo as highly intelligent and a loving husband and son.
Oh,
he started as a tennis player at the high school and later graduated from Emory College in Atlanta. Honestly, folks, we still don't know what the fuck happened. We don't know what happened. I'm going to hopefully find an article that tells us actually what happened.
We know where he went to school. We know who performed his wedding ceremony. We know that he planted flowers.
The company knows clients as far away as
We don't know what
Chile.
he actually did to get shot.
He was focused on community outreach.
I told you.
He founded the Westlake Sister City program. He also oversaw the Ohio Rose Festival. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh. Okay. No.
Yeah. No.
This is a really long freaking thing. Okay. Wait a minute.
You okay over there?
No.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Okay, so here's what it says. Family and friends alike are wondering exactly what led up to Thursday's attacks on the side of the highway. And then it says, as Westlake police went to his parents' house, they also tried to locate him by tracking his cell phone. Now look, Cleveland.com. Why are the Westlake police going to his parents' house in the first place and tracking his cell phone? Like, you went from... He was extremely intelligent. He enjoyed pushing himself to learn other things. He wanted to be the best at everything he did in a good way. Family and friends alike are wondering exactly what led up to Thursday's attacks on the side of the highway. And then you went right to, as Westlake police went to his parents' house, they also tried to locate him by tracking his cell phone. Who writes this stuff? It's horrible. I don't even know what's going on.
Jennifer Chacho.
It seems like a big thing is missing right there. They also notified his wife. For whatever reason. Hi, we're the police. We're trying to track down your husband. We met his parents today, and we got a cell phone and we're just tracking it.
We saw them at the park.
Felt that you should know. A volunteer at the Cleveland Clinic. Police notified businesses on. You know what? Let me stop there. Cleveland Clinic doesn't need any volunteers. If you're volunteering for the Cleveland Clinic, you should just quit because they've got so much money. You're just being used. Okay? You might be getting like a good feeling inside that you're helping people, but you're getting used. You're getting ripped off. Have you seen the freaking I mean it's like out of Logan's Run, the Cleveland Clinic. It's huge. There's like a million different ones. Every 5 feet there's a television screen. It's ridiculous. There's like a whole wall that just lights up as you walk next to it out of the parking garage. Cleveland Clinic's there's a guy playing the harp in the eye center. I mean, come on. Don't volunteer. Tell them, pay me. I'll help these people, but you pay me. They're ripping everybody off. They might as well pay you. You're at least doing something good. Did you hear Larry earlier? He paid like $1,300 for some aspirin. Don't volunteer. Just get paid. Police notified businesses on West 117th
And my bill is
Street.
from the Cleveland Clinic. So
There you go. See? Police notify. I got a thing about that too. Hold on. I'm gonna talk about that. I go to see my doctor. My doctor goes down into Olmsted Falls, which is about as west side as you get before it turns kind of country. Right. That's the best way I can explain Olmsted Falls.
Just before North Ridgeville.
Yeah, just before you're looking at cows or something.
Yeah,
it's there. But it's west side. It's west side.
It's where I
so they have a grocery store, the Shaker IGA, very close to Adam.
Very close.
It's just an independent grocer, but it's a full service grocery store. It's been there forever. And right next door is a little, it's like inside a strip mall, right? And it's only one other thing, and it's this Cleveland clinic checkup deal.
It used to be a CVS.
Right. So I go in there, and I'm thinking it's small. It is kind of small, but I'm thinking it's like, just like any of these places are. There's probably like a window that you walk up to. There's one woman there. She's like, how can I get you? And then you're like, I'm here to see blah, blah, blah. And they walk you back into a small room and make you stand on a scale. And anyway,
I get you.
So I go in, and there's 3 women sitting at the front desk, like all right there. There's only 2 other people sitting in chairs. I don't know what these 3 women are supposed to be doing, but I guess they're there to help people. And there's a bunch of electronic kiosk check-ins. There's like 5 electronic key-in check-in things and 3 women to take people that walk up. Okay. Weird. This is a regular weekday, regular time. It wasn't like I went there in the middle of the night or something. It was very not busy, but they had these 3 people on staff. So I check in, and I'm looking around, and I notice that there's a sign on the right that has like a picture of a doctor, and it's like on one of those easels, it's kind of big. And then I look on the left, and there's another picture of a doctor on the left side by a door, and it's on another easel. And I know my doctor works here, and she's not one of these 2 doctors. And I'm like, okay, so whatever. There's like 3 doctors in this place. Fine. So they're like, okay, Kevin, come on back. So I go back, and I have to stand on the scale. So now I'm going down that normal hallway, right? So I'm like, okay, the normal hallway you see whenever you go to the doctor. Don, one day when you go to the doctor, you'll see that there's the scale. And no, I know you've been to the doctor. So you check my weight, and then we go a little bit further down into this like huge room, and there's a big desk, and there's probably 10 women sitting all on computers, and they're all just tapping away working. And I'm like looking at this, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is like weird. It's like it's something right out of like it's a secret or something. Like this is our secret like area that we do secret stuff in or something, because it was gigantic in a way. Like for this little strip mall thing, you're not expecting to walk in and see like a freaking science lab going on like right in front of you. And there's no emergency room. This isn't like an emergency med clinic deal. It's just like there's just a few doctors, I guess, that live out this way, and Cleveland Clinic is weird. And they're like, we're just going to put like a thing here with some doctors for people. And I then went into a room and sat down, and it was a regular doctor room. I saw my doctor. She's very nice. She helps me and everything. And then I leave, but I'm really confused over what that command center was in the middle of this thing next to the Shaker IGA nondescript building thing. It was really weird.
God, whatever you do, don't tell that story to Bailey, because he will know exactly what's going on at the secret command center hidden in the Shaker IGA behind the Cleveland Clinic.
I mean, maybe they're just like, how they have those like doctors,
like
nurses on call thing where they can, video with you or something. I mean, maybe it's something like that, but it was
Teledoc or whatever.
It was really surprising to walk in and see that in this little. I can see it downtown for sure. I mean, downtown, the Cleveland Clinic, that place is ridiculous. But this was like really weird. Also, if you ever have to go to mental health downtown, like everything Cleveland Clinic is modern, and like there's laser like video things on the wall with trees rotating pictures and little bands playing, like the Avon Pain grocery, and all this sort of stuff, you know. But if you ever have to go to mental health, you go through this freaking maze over to this. You eventually, like, everything's letters, and so you eventually get to a building, which is the M building, and that's where the budget stopped. Like, that's where Cleveland Clinic was like, we're not spending any more money, and especially not for people that need mental health. So there's like elevators from hell right there. They're always broken and they're scary as shit. You push the button and it's that kind of thing where the door kind of goes and moves really slow, like
the elevator stops in between floors.
Right. And it's always like one's always out whenever I'm there. Like, this one, don't go on that one. You know what I mean? And it's like it kind of shakes when you're in it. And it's like, really? Cleveland Clinic, you got all this money? And this stupid elevator has been like, I mean, I've been going to that thing for like 15 years and it's still fucked up. They've just decided we're not modernizing that elevator. We're going to wait until there's an accident.
It's like one of those mental asylums from like the, turn of the century. They still do like electroshock. Fucking.
It's like the Cinema Wasteland elevator where it's just tired. When you get in it, it's had too much activity for the night or something.
See, I thought you were going to be like, and the elevators, one of them is always broken, and they're those like old coal mine elevators where it's just a bucket with no walls on a chain.
I mean, in mental health too, that's the other thing. Okay, I went out to the Shaker IG out in BFE, and they had those electronic kiosks where you check in at, right?
Right.
That's what I used. Worked fine. Okay. I don't recommend anyone ever use them because the first time you do, it wants to take pictures of everything in your wallet practically, and it's a big pain in the ass. But I've already done all that, so now it's easier. But don't do it. But mental health, like, they have those kiosks, and they just do not work. They don't work. The girl goes, "Oh, that doesn't work. Just never mind." And then, I punch in everything, and then it's like, "Oh, you'll need to go talk to somebody before you can." You did all this for nothing, basically.
You sit down at the kiosk, and like the little door slides open, and there's just a person sitting there.
And you remember, like, well, you guys probably don't, but like way back in the XP days, there were some touchscreen convertible tablets before there was iPhone type tablets, modern day tablets, pads, whatever you want to call them. Well, they have these old XP ones, and they just they hand you one, and then it has a survey on it that you always fill out. Not like how we're doing or anything. It's more like, do you feel like killing yourself today? No. Have you felt like killing anyone around you? No. Do you wake up and feel like you just don't want to continue your day? No. So, and you got to do that every time you go in there.
Are you just here to renew a med?
Right.
Like, they can't just give you that question.
Right. I'm mostly normal. I'm just, I just need a little bit of this and that. And no. It's always like, well, if you're not going to kill yourself, then, we're glad. These things are always broken. They're not charged. They open a drawer. There's like one there. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. They have to reset it. It's ridiculous. And so, like, last time I was there, she was like, "I don't think this thing works." I'm like, "I'll just do it on my phone. It's fine." She's like, "That'd be better." I'm like, "Okay." So, Cleveland Clinic, there's no money in mental health. If you need mental health, go to another hospital. Maybe not Metro though, because you might get killed on your way to Metro.
you go to Metro instead to get your prescription renewed, and somehow you die on the table.
You did that. It's probably not there. You go to Rainbow Babies or go to Southwest or something. Okay, here we go. For whatever reason, they told this guy's wife that volunteered at Cleveland Clinic because we needed that piece of information. That they were looking for her husband for some unknown reason. Police then decided to notify businesses on West 117th Street as his car drove east on I-90. Lakewood Police and Cleveland's 1st District officers were also told to look for Luengo. This is really weird. Luengo, who has no known prior criminal history other than a 2016 misdemeanor conviction for failing to comply with a police officer, crashed his car near the West Boulevard exit. And 2 people pulled off on the side of the road to help him, according to 2 witnesses. He grabbed a woman by the throat and pulled her out of her car. The man grabbed, this is like something right out of Terminator. The man grabbed a wrench from his work truck and hit Luengo on the head as Luengo tried to attack him, causing a gash. Doesn't say where. Just somewhere in that guy's body, he got a gash.
On the head.
A third man stopped when he saw Luengo bleeding on the side of the road. Luengo also tried to attack him, the witnesses said. Luengo walked up the side of the highway and tried to grab 2 kids in the back seat of another woman's car, getting blood on the kids. Why were they stopped?
Let me wipe this off on you.
It's a highway, like everybody's pulling over, like it's a something fun to do.
I think after 3 or 4 cars pull over, you're going to have to stop for it.
I mean, yeah, or just the whole highway was there
that's how
trying to
people
do this one guy.
Yeah.
As he attacked the people on the side of the highway, he shouted that he was high on PCP and that he molested children, the witnesses said.
Okay, so clearly he was tired of life, was trying to commit suicide by cop. However,
he could have been a gay child molester high on PCP being chased by witches.
That's what I told Holiday. I said the dude was suicidal and wanted to be killed. He couldn't do it himself.
I don't know.
It was about then when Cuyahoga County Sheriff Sergeant Kevin Campbell arrived. Sheriff Clifford Pinkney said Campbell ordered Luengo to surrender several times. The 2 witnesses said Luengo told Campbell to shoot him. He charged at Campbell, who used his stun gun several times to no avail. With the whistling. Stop whistling.
Sorry.
According to the witnesses and Pinkney, a video provided to Cleveland.com shows Luengo rip the stun gun prongs from his chest, get up off the ground, and charge at Campbell. Sounds like he was on PCP then, because I've watched enough cops to know that when people get hit by those things, it's not good.
You get dropped.
Yeah, and you scream like a little girl.
Right.
Luengo threw a...
The more you tell the story, the more I have to call bullshit on your not understanding why everybody was stopped now. Because don't act like there's any of us who, as soon as it turned into guy yanking some chick out of her car by the throat while another dude is hitting him over the head with a fucking wrench, every person on this show would totally pull over and watch that shit. Don't act like... You would have 4 different phones out videotaping it for different feeds.
I'm always paranoid whenever I see a cop pull somebody over on the side of the road. Like, people are always just like, "Oh, that guy was speeding." You don't know. There could be a gunfight. There could be like a total gun battle going on any second. Bullets just spraying around. I mean, people have been watching the news lately. It's fuck that. I'm just like, I got to get out of here. Some shit's about to go down. Let's see. Luengo rips the stun guns from it. Luengo threw a punch at Campbell as Campbell backed up around his car on the traffic side of the highway. Luengo charged at Campbell one last time, reaching for his gun, according to the video and witnesses. Campbell shot Luengo once in the chest. After the shooting, Luengo sat up and tried to stand. Campbell kicked him back down onto his back. Luengo later died at Metro Health. See? Metro Health. Cleveland Police's use of deadly force. Detectives are investigating the shooting. Cuyahoga County Executive Armin Budish on Friday called Campbell's handling of the incident. Called Campbell's handling of the incident appropriate. Luengo's family thanked the officers and paramedics that responded to the shooting. The behavior observed on that fateful evening was completely out of character for Brett, and the family has as many questions as everyone else. Family statement said, "This incident by no means defines the way in which Brett lived his life, which was sadly come to an untimely end." I feel really bad for the family. It's really fucked up, but that guy was obviously a mess.
Yeah, there's... Yeah.
I mean, geez, oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
I can report, by the way, that if you ever get pneumonia and you feel really run down, gummy bears help.
Oh my God, blossom.
We're running out of time, so I'm only going to do two more.
Okay.
Cleveland, Ohio. Gabriella Benkovitz, 26, of Lakewood, pleaded guilty Tuesday to workers' compensation fraud after a Facebook post tipped off investigators that she was bartending while receiving disability benefits.
Mm-hmm.
The Bureau of Workers' Compensation found that Benkovitz worked at 3 different places while receiving benefits. She must pay back $7,595 and must serve 2 years of probation for the first-degree misdemeanor. The company that was handling Benkovitz's claim was a work injury, found the Facebook post, which indicated she was bartending in Westlake. Benkovitz was injured while working at a restaurant in Cleveland in 2012. She worked as a bartender for Yard House, Flipside, and Midtown booths from July 2015 to February 2016 while receiving temporary total disability benefits. The Bureau of Workers' Compensation uses information from social media on almost every case. You hear that, people?
Yeah, you hear that, people?
Yeah.
Workers' comp fraudsters aren't the most brilliant people out there.
Yeah, also, even if you don't post it, you're at a bar where like people are like doing like stupid things and taking pictures of it, you're going to get tagged and you're going to go down. Don't be dumb.
Right? Go ahead.
This is a really short one. I'm just going to fit in real quick. This is in Russell Township, Ohio. I don't know. You can drink on that one if you want. No idea where that is. On May 18th, a resident requested that police patrol the area between Crestview Drive and Watt Road for bicycles. He said groups of cyclists ride 3 across at various times of the day. He said he has followed them to Sperry Road and witnessed their behavior.
Not a motorcycle gang, a bicycle.
Yeah, I was mad about the 3 across bicyclists. Come on, Cleveland people, or Russell Township, wherever you are, people. Okay,
That's like far east side.
this is the last one right here.
Oh.
Berea, Ohio.
Oh no.
A Columbia Station woman, 56, was arrested at about 3:15 p.m. May 18th after she tried to steal more than $100 in groceries from Giant Eagle. Accidentally left her purse containing the stolen goods at the store. So she left her purse containing
the stolen goods?
The things that she stole, she left in her purse at the store. She then reported...
And somehow she fit $1,000 worth of groceries into her purse.
Well, it's $100. And then it says, she then reported the purse as lost or stolen with Berea police.
Just don't look at it.
So, of course, they go look at the security video to find out where the purse is. Security video showed the woman pushing a shopping cart filled with groceries out of Giant Eagle, 50 West Bridge at about 1:50 p.m. The woman had purchased about $65 in merchandise, but had also hidden stolen items in her purse. The woman loaded the groceries into her vehicle, but left her purse in the shopping cart. Later, Giant Eagle workers found the purse, looked inside to identify the purse's owner, noticed the stolen merchandise, and called police.
Dope.
Meanwhile, the woman drove to the Berea police station to report her purse as lost or stolen. A police clerk asked the woman to fill out a report and wait for an officer. The woman did neither and abruptly left the station. Police, after obtaining the woman's identifying information from Giant Eagle, called the woman and told her they had found her purse. The woman then drove to the station where she was arrested.
She didn't even fill out the paperwork to give them her name, but somehow she still fell for that. We found your purse, even though you don't think you left your number with us.
The woman was unable to explain why she stole the groceries. She said she had shoplifted once before, but wasn't caught. I've done it before and I never had a problem.
If you don't get caught, then it doesn't count.
Just kind of happened.
Okay, so here's another life tip, everybody. If you're ever being interrogated by the police for a crime, don't say the last time I did it at any point in the interrogation. Like, there's no problem the last time I did it.
Oh my God. All right. That's it for the show. You guys go watch the Cavs game. We'll be back next week with more. Have a good one.
Right.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
It's going to take me a minute to shut all this off. So.
That's all right. I like to sit here and listen to you click on your clicker. I know that sounded gay.